Pub Scrawl started 2 years ago, and it was an idea that I wanted to involve myself a lot more with the local, very thriving and bustling art scene in Sheffield. Then that initial idea, we sort of thought, well, rather than me doing collaborations with each artist, why not just let the artists work by themselves on their own exhibitions, and we'll just have this one big collaborative show and take it around quite a few pubs in Sheffield. So the idea of having a pub crawl where you went and saw art as well as drank came to mind, and going round the exhibition and seeing the exhibition, I think I want people to have taken away a very wonderful, surprising experience, a thing that they would have not normally have seen on any other city or any given day, to see such different diverse art forms, but also in an environment that they're really familiar with, rather than being in a stuffy art gallery or a white wall gallery. It's in a pub, it's a familiar territory, it's a comfortable environment.
It's a bit of an extension from my normal work. I mean, I do lots of images with donkeys in. I have a donkey theme with a lot of my prints, but it was a good opportunity to actually take this a little bit further, get a bit carried away, add a bit of 3D work and a bit of sound to what I normally do. So it's been a bit of a vanity project. But
for Pub Scrawl, we wanted to do something that wasn't just framed work on walls, and we wanted to give the visitors more of an experience. Make it more of a kind of almost like a happening, different ideas, our own kind of visions of the future. It's like painting and sculpture, but using digital and forms and animation to do it.
Yeah, this is the first time I've done anything like this. Obviously I'm a photographer, I take pictures the whole time, so I think people are going to be expecting some kind of photo booth or some kind of interaction in that kind of sense, but I'm focusing more on other parts of my practice.
I think the work that I've done for Pub Scrawl is sort of it's an immersive installation, which I do make installations, and I make paintings and prints and all sorts of different things, and it's been really nice to sort of bring that all together.
We're taking our inspiration from the history of the building, so we're going back in time and bringing that all into one room and one space. Lots of references to what the place was before. I mean, it was a Chinese restaurant in the 1960s. Upstairs was a Blue Lagoon jazz cafe. It used to be a cobbler's, it used to be a meat shop. So we're incorporating all those sounds and all those elements of what we've discovered about the history and putting it into a musical art. I suppose it's an installation.
We wanted to do something that was interactive. We were lucky enough to be part of the first Pub Scrawl, and we thought that was a lot more fun for them coming in, rather than just looking and being separate from the artwork.
The most people can stray is they can like put an eye where a nose should be or something like that, but we've kind of set parameters to it, I guess.
The initial idea was to have these heads as things that could be coloured in. A lot of discussion over material and how you sort of stop people from just drawing cocks everywhere, yeah.
Remote control drones is what it boiled down to in the end. Like the dual meaning of that statement.
The EBOs that control the drones are obviously a piece of technology, and the human control is absent from the piece, so you don't really know where we are.
Kind of made the back room into a chapel because the Washington describes itself as a spiritual home of music, so I kind of wanted to make a disco chapel. And then the garden and the tap room, they're kind of based on a colouring book come to life, because recently we designed a colouring book for Sheffield, so we just wanted to blow that up basically and get adults involved in having fun and colouring with, you know, like competitions, and I've got a green hand.
I think it looked immediately something that was worth getting involved with because of the kind of latitude it gives you as an artist to just experiment or do something you wouldn't necessarily do off your own back. Or it's a bit like a kind of a nice challenge to try and do something that you wouldn't have previously considered. It should be more relaxing than a normal sort of conventional art opening, even though those tend to involve alcohol and people who we've never met before and who hopefully come and say they like your work. So I'm kind of looking forward to obviously people's feedback who might know me for just pictures on the wall but not necessarily 3D. So this is like the first time I've tried anything like this. Yeah, hopefully people will find it funny, which is one of the other reasons that I did it, to sort of try and entertain in a sort of artistic way. So yeah.
And what things run throughout my work and ended up at foliage, and went from there with the help of some very, very kind tree surgeons and some now very tidy gardens in Nether Edge. So I think I'd like people to take pictures of it, and I think that it'll change because I've not blocked out the windows or anything like that. So as we go later into the night, then the indoor lights will come more into play, and I don't know, I think I just want people to get drunk and have fun.
It's not just coming and looking at things on walls and then going away, it's kind of coming and joining in, and we're aiming for a bit of a party atmosphere really, and you know, we help people come and see it as an experience, and they come in here with an open mind and they leave thinking that anything's possible. And I like the fact that they can discover the work of these people without having it kind of rammed down their throats, and they can just go, you know, into somewhere for a drink and just see something they wouldn't normally see. You know, also see venues they wouldn't normally see as well, you know, because I'm sure the people that are coming to Pub Scrawl, they haven't been in all these venues before.
I think that it kind of opens it up for the public a bit more. I think there's a lot of art events on, but they're mainly in galleries, and that might feel a bit inaccessible to some people, so I think it's great that it's just around pubs, it's just for everybody. I think it's really
just
important.
A very fun approach.
And it's informal. I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's informal and very fun.
It involves drinking, which always makes appreciating art so much better.
Got a bit of colouring in. Would you like to see my artwork?
Yes, please.
Where's my artwork gone? Oh no! Oh, there we go. If I was mayor, then I would rebuild Tinsley Towers and turn Meadowhall into a prison. I'd put all the 7 hills together, and I would bring back the 2p bus fares for Sheffield as well. There's my bus. So there you go, there's my artwork.
Brilliant.
I call him Dapper Dan. It's probably the first thing I've ever done without a penis drawn on it.
Well done.
Since what age? That is a true story. That is a true story.
So it's 3 guitars in a room. Each guitar has 2 EBOs attached to it, which are electronic magnets that can be switched on and off, and have a certain amount of voltage put through them. And we used those 6 EBOs and the 3 guitars and our entire back line.
So we have a total of 6 notes in all, and that's tuned to a chord across the 3 guitars, which is voiced by a
particularly sad chord.
Is it D minor?
Probably, yeah.
It might be D minor, which is the saddest chord if you've seen Spinal Tap. So there are some jokes in there as well.
Like a life or a death sort of thing, I don't know. Just all I thought about was batteries not included, sort of something making the guitars work that you couldn't see, or
utterly wow. Can you explain it a little bit? It was 3 guitars, music, lights, wow.
It's good exposure, that fantastic word exposure. But it makes the artist, especially now that like Pub Scrawl's developing and the animal was originally thought of it to changing slightly. It's making people come out of their comfort zone and do something different. So that's kind of
for me, I always discovered an artist that I wasn't aware of as well, which is hard to believe in Sheffield sometimes, but I think it does shine a light on people whose work you weren't aware of, even if you've heard the name and stuff.
Well, it's great because it gives artists an opportunity to do things that they might not want to, might not have been able to do before, and it's good that people be able to see art in different places as well. Pubs where you don't necessarily see art. I guess a few people might have had a few drinks before they see your pictures, and that might be a slightly different dimension to it. But yeah, it'll be good. I mean, yeah, I'm not a famous artist, so not everybody's heard of my work or seen my work, so it's going to be good to maybe introduce it to some people who haven't.
Don't touch the donkeys. That's unhygienic. That's the rules. Don't touch the donkeys. It's unhygienic. No, touching donkeys. There are lots of donkeys, but don't touch them. They're not real.
And I just thought it was great the way he managed to transform the back bar into a stable in a way. But
And you liked the pub as well, didn't you?
Like the pub a lot, but yeah, conceptual stable. Yeah, I did like the pub. So first time in the pub, I have seen James's work before, but I just thought it was really imaginative to take his motif, if you like, and do something different with it.
Yeah, we wanted to have a space which was quite controlled, so people had, could go into it, they could enter and leave, and we're sort of making it quite a special environment. Different from the pub environment as it is. Public houses are a meeting place for people to talk and to reminisce, really, and it's passing on memories and it's passing on stories. It's a real sort of a folklore type thing, and that is all based on the history of the building as well.
Because my work focuses predominantly on architecture and sort of the urban environment, one of which is the sort of Greasy Spoon Cafe. It's sort of become something in England which is now, I think, a bit of a dying breed. There's a lot of nostalgia attached to it. I've sort of hand-made all the tablecloths and the curtains, made a newspaper to sort of tie in with the theme, as well as like some paintings that I made, for one especially for this, about a cafe being demolished. And so I've linked it to Castle Market in Sheffield.
Yeah, my installation is basically a story of a couple. It's basically the two couple on the side of Fagans, who I've named Frank and Joy, and it's their life story, really. But it's their life story told within the context of going to the pub and what the pub's there for.
What do you reckon?
Well, I reckon that looking at all the images on the painting, the people I saw on there were all related to me. They were all my aunties, uncles, grandparents, everybody that I've seen on there had the look of someone I absolutely knew, and that's Pete McKee's stuff, isn't it?
That's the thing. I want people to remember it and not forget it.
Remember when I said I'd love you forever? Through ups and downs, I'd never leave your side. I stood on the top of Sniggill and told the world how much I loved you. From Fargate to Neepsend, o'er the Don and down Castlegate, we drank in bars, full of proud men and women like you, strong as steel. And now I raise a glass and remember you in your prime, when you were older, wiser, and full of love. And I will say, you are my joy. You are my love. You are my girl.
I think that's what's written on our poster, isn't it?
Beer and looking at art's not unique, but having an event where 10 artists take 10 pubs over, and then people are willing to go to all 10 pubs and see all 10 artists, and even attempt to try and drink beer in every single one of them. You know, it's a great testament to the willpower and lust for art and beer in Sheffield.